I am Kelsey Denton, and I teach communication studies at Green River, and I'm also a member of the Learning Outcomes Committee. This video is going to talk about writing strong outcomes. Writing outcomes is something that you might do in preparation of a course or assignment in your class. I will often write outcomes for assignments based on the existing outcomes for the course, or the program, or the campus. So what we're going to do here is take a look at a few course outcomes and see what makes them strong, and hopefully that will assist you in writing your own outcomes for your course or assignments or something in the future. So the first thing we need to do is ask ourselves, what is an outcome? So an outcome is a single sentence that identifies what a student will know, do, or demonstrate as a result of their campus program, course, or assignment experience. When you write an outcome, you want to make sure that one of those three aims is in mind, that the outcome is about what the student will know, that the outcome is about what the student will do, or that the outcome is about what the student will demonstrate. That will help you come up with the language for that outcome. So an example from one of my courses is that the student will practice techniques for conducting meetings and working as a group. A double check that you want to make is that that outcome is a single item that the student will know, do, or demonstrate. If you end up with a really long list, you might want to reconsider and break them out into multiple outcomes. In this example, you'll see there is an and, that the student is practicing techniques for conducting meetings and working as a group. But I see that as one thing, because when you have a meeting, you are also working as a group. But it is an important question to ask yourself as you're writing these to make sure you don't end up with a laundry list of items in one outcome, because that makes it more difficult to assess. So how do you write this outcome? Well, the first thing you need to do is make sure that you select measurable language. And measurable language is something that you know that you can assign a value or quantity to. The second thing you want to do is make sure that you have an active verb. That should be a verb that indicates some kind of particular behavior, movement, etc. And finally, you want to make sure that you are using both in the verbiage you select for the outcome. So when we look at something like practice techniques for conducting meetings and working as a group, I know that I can measure students' practice. I could measure it in logs. I could measure it in total classroom experiences. I could measure it in quality of practice based on their reflection. Practice is also an active verb, right? It's something that the student is going to go do. I know that they are doing something if they practice, and that helps me know that the outcome is effective. So let's take a moment to practice ourselves. There are two outcomes here. The first outcome is written, students will appreciate the benefits of exercise. The second outcome is written, students will explain how exercise can reduce an individual's stress level. Which one is stronger? I'll give you a minute to consider. That's right, the second one. The second one is stronger because it is more measurable and the verb is more active. So students' appreciation is difficult to measure. Students' explanation of how exercise can reduce an individual's stress level, that's very specific, that's easy to measure, it's an active verb. There's lots of ways that we could imagine them explaining it. It could be a presentation, it could be a short answer on an exam, it could be part of a paper. Those things tell us it's a strong outcome. So when you're writing your outcomes, where do you find the verbs? I like to use Bloom's taxonomy. When I think about what I want a student to do, whether it's understand something, apply something, or demonstrate something, I can come to Bloom's taxonomy and it gives me suggestions for the different types of verbs I might use. So if I'm looking for a student to understand something, I can look at Bloom's and it will suggest different verbs such as classify, describe, discuss, etc. So what are some quick checks that you can use to check the outcome that you've written? The first thing to ask yourself is, does the outcome describe what a student should know, do, or demonstrate? Then, is the outcome language singular? Does the outcome use measurable language? Does the outcome use an active verb? Can I envision an assignment or assignments that would allow me to assess this outcome? And finally, can I envision standards of performance for this outcome? These are the questions you want to ask yourself about an outcome that you've written. If you can say yes to all of them, then congratulations, you have a strong outcome. I hope this video has helped you in thinking about writing outcomes for your own courses and assignments. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me, Julie Moore, or your LOC representative. Thanks.